lights on a trailer. I said, if it's a problem, I apologize. She goes, no, there is no problem. It's once a year, and you don't do it anyway, and it was a benefit for the city, so there's no problem. So my question for you is, you have a fucking problem with me, because I'm starting to feel like I'm being targeted because I work for Matt and Rich, and I worked for Matt and Rich before I was on the city council, and I have always been honest and straightforward and straight shooter with you on everything. No, I'm not fucking done. When you come to me about something, we talk as grown-ass men. That to me was a fucking snake move.
What? To ask her?
To sit there and turn and go tell her and encourage her to
You want to listen to my side of the story now?
Well, I'm just telling you. I'm getting it all out there so you know where I stand.
Okay, let me
because
tell
there's
you
some
what happened.
conflict with, I don't, and I also don't like this. We need to do more research. This pool thing is bullshit. We know who fucking did it. If we don't hold these fucking kids accountable, they're going to be all over
I
this
can't
town
do anything until I get a sheriff's report on that.
Bullshit.
Beside that,
We can do something as a city.
You can't, because then you can be considered for false arrest or false.
We haven't arrested nobody. We can't arrest anybody.
We need to get the right information to the lawyer. Now, besides that, I went down to help clean up the goddamn mess, what was left.
It wasn't a mess, because Brandon and Matt, when they picked up the fence...
No, I'm not talking about your shit. I'm talking about up there, I went down there to volunteer to help clean up after the rodeo.
Okay.
In that time, I said, how are things going? And Sonia said to me, or Aaron said to me, well, it would have been great, but we had a cow mooing all damn night long. Okay?
Okay, well, that ain't what she told me down here.
All right, well, anyway, that's what they said. We didn't get a whole lot of sleep. It pisses me off. I said, then go ahead and make a formal complaint about it. So that's what I said.
So any other time when everybody's had a problem, you go and talk to the people, like this, you come and talk to me.
All I said was turn in a damn complaint.
So why couldn't you came and talk to me about
Well, you
that?
weren't around.
I was in town all day yesterday.
Well,
I mean, Jim,
I said this on Saturday, Sunday.
Here's the thing.
Were you there on Sunday?
You used to drive by my house, we waved, everything was fine. Now you drive by and you don't even fucking look. So your whole, and I'm not saying you're doing it, but you're perceiving to me that you and I have got a problem. And I want to, this is one reason why I'm talking to you today. I want to know if we have a problem, because I think you are an honest man and a good man, but I want to know if there's a problem. Because if there is, I'd like to know about it before I get ambushed.
You're not going to get ambushed.
Well, that wasn't straightforward to me.
Well, you know.
I mean, when I grew, oh, I know. I think I should know better. I think I should be able to trust my mayor. I mean, I'm a council member. I'm supposed to support you.
Well, the things that came up last night are really troubling to me because all of a sudden the concern about the color of the water tower came up. And
I didn't. The only thing my concern on that water tower is if that's part of the deal, I'm fine with it. I do not want to spend, like you said, and like we all know, we do not have extra money to spend on, well, I don't like the color of the water tower, so let's just change it.
the paint needs to be changed on the outside. It needs to be repainted.
Yep.
That protects it. So just all this perception about us wasting money, spending money and everything, and it's all aimed at, and I've heard this from numerous people, well, you're up Dan Allen's ass. Everything he wants, he gets. That's bullshit. I'm tired of that. I have a mind. I can think for myself. I've been approaching these nuisance abatements in what I consider an orderly fashion, the worst to the best. Okay? We haven't really addressed any buildings because junk vehicles and junk in yards, to me, is more important right at this moment.
Well, we did jump a building already.
No, we did because
of the chemical.
Not because of the chemicals, because the damn building was collapsing. It was leaning out over the dam.
Which is full of rocks.
Okay.
That fucker's caving in.
I understand that, but that building is not collapsing. That one is. That one's not endangering public thoroughfare. That one was.
Yep,
And it turns out there were chemicals in it.
And I supported the taking down of it.
Okay, it only took us 11 months to get there because of all the damn delays and things like that with the court.
Yeah.
The games that the lawyer played.
Yeah.
All right? So that one, and I have addressed that numerous times with him. We've given him solutions. He hasn't moved forward within some of the things that we suggested. So I'm still trying to work with him. He was right. I've talked to him numerous times, kind of chewed his butt a little bit, saying, you need to do something here. I don't want to go to court unless I have to go to court.
I agree.
So I'm
But-
trying to put letters out to people to take care of their business, and all I'm getting is pushback that, well, that's really not something that we need to worry about at this time. I haven't even done letters for the vehicles that are parked on 3 different vacant lots. I haven't done anything about that yet. I haven't done anything about the junk pile over here that's in the corner. I haven't done anything about the junk pile that's around their fucking building. But yet, I'm the bad guy here. And I don't understand it. You know, if we're going to be a council, we're going to have to start acting in concert and leave our goddamn baggage at home. You know, if I don't agree with somebody, I leave it at home. We're there to do city business. And I'm not getting that from the whole group.
So you think she was out of line last night?
I think everybody was out of line.
Yeah, but you think she was out of line. So yes.
Connie? Damn right I think she was out of line. First of all, she never came and talked to me about it. Second, she made an accusation that's baseless.
What accusation? She made no basis.
The accusation is we're showing favoritism.
That's what it looks like.
Well, it looks like that if people only want to just look at the social media and talk among themselves.
It's not on social media. I've kept it
What
off
the
of
hell is
social-
YouTube?
Those are videos of the
It's
videos.
social media.
Okay, well, okay, it's on YouTube.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's not
And-
like it's on Facebook. You
and-
know, we had that talk, you and I have had that talk already about the pool last year
And
with
that whole
my
thing,
daughter.
that
And
whole
I've stayed
thing
off
about-
that.
That whole thing about putting it on video, all that does is show one side of the story. So all the low information people that look at that and go, ooh, that's gospel, they just love that shit. Well, it shows the city in a negative light. All the positive things that we try to do for this city have been erased. You've heard the old saying when you were in the Navy, one aw shit erases 50 attaboys. Well, there we are.
Yeah, but also those videos aren't a lie. I mean, that's actually what's going on at the time.
I get that, but a lot of that shit is orchestrated. You know, it's all there for a purpose. It's all there to make the city look negative. The city is favorites. We just got a picture from when they released the audit that the city is crooked and it's all Dan Allen's fault. You know, what a bunch of bullshit. I'm just tired of the fucking infighting and the goddamn misinformation out here. We need to start working together. And so that's why I asked you, what the hell can we do different about the nuisance abatement?
We need to start doing it with 2 of us.
Well, but if the person doesn't respond to you, or they're not home, or
Right?
whatever.
Okay, why don't we do it this way then? I like when I stopped in and gave the money for the account here, they talked to Angie. I like what you were doing because you sat down, I don't know what his name is, AJ,
AJ,
and talked to him. The only thing I thought that should have been added to that is you should have had a council member there, or it should have been, or you should have recorded it. That protects us.
all he asked for was to sit down and have a better understanding of what's expected for his property.
But tell him you want a council member with you there next time. I mean, you want to show it so it's fair. If you have a council member, and in my personal opinion, it would not be Dan Allen. He has got so much. There's so much animosity between people and him, and you knew that when you became mayor because we talked about that. I would not have him. Anybody but him, because there's underlying shit from before you and I even moved to this fucking town that has been there for fucking 50
Well,
years.
then people need to take that baggage and
Well,
keep it at
you know
home.
what? If it was on both sides of the fence, I'd agree. But both sides of the fence feed into the argument. I mean, it's just like I made a thing about when I was inappropriate and I said kiss my ass, and his fucking little comment. There was no need for that. Connie called him out on it. He didn't like it. Him and Connie are related to Connie's husband.
I get that.
So the whole thing is, I'll commit this to you right now. When you want to talk to people, set up a fucking meeting in your office and call me, and I'll make sure it works for me, and I'll sit there. I am not him. And honestly, they don't look at me as the same way as they do with him. I mean, I voted to take Brandon to court. You know why? Because it'll get the fucker solved. When you got a judge,
that's what I want to do.
When you get the judge that says it, when he rules, we're done with it. And you and I have talked about that before, and I told you my opinion is whatever the judge rules, we're fucking done. We're not going to keep doing this. We spent $1,550 on an attorney and have nothing to show right now. And we're a town that can't afford.
We actually do.
We haven't been to court. We haven't been to court.
You're exactly right, because they did a delay.
Yep. What I'm saying is, there's nothing. I mean, you can't take something to somebody and show it in this video or anywhere else. So look, we've got this solved. This is what the judge ruled. We're done with it. We're going to let the dog lie.
We have to go forward to him to ask for his opinion on things, to look at.
Well, I understand that, but $1,550.
It's going.
There's a cost.
It's likely about every 15 minutes we get charged for something. If it's a response to an email, 15 minutes. If it's get this, it's that.
I've had to use attorneys for divorce.
I try not to contact him unless it's absolutely necessary.
I'm just saying, you came to me and asked me what we need to do. In my opinion, that's what we need to fucking do.
Okay, I'll take you on board.
And I don't have a problem with you. I did not like the way the cow thing went down. I thought that was kind of, I took a personal feeling, and I know, and I've been working on that, not to let personal feelings get in the middle of it. But my thing is, I just gave Charles $370 for the Lions Club and put it in the bank. I'm trying to do things to make better for this town I live in. I mean, if I'm not, what the fuck am I on council for? That's why I've already talked to my brother who lives in Mallard, and I'm going to talk to Heath today that owns that private camp facility in Mallard after I got off to work at Pizza Ranch, and get his input and advice on how to do that.
I don't have a problem with that. Any improvements we can make to the town is great, but we need to do the research. One of the problems that I've found in the past, and this is not anything that you were involved with, is that they tend to want to do things without doing research. We got improvements down at Wilcox Park. No plans are drawn up, no maps. I got a rudimentary map on the top of a piece of paper that shows me where the damn leach field is. That's not how a city operates. We shouldn't go forward like that.
I agree.
So those are the types of things I'm trying to wrangle here. So
my advice is, we have more than you there. I would not involve Dan for a little while until
I don't involve Dan in any of these anyway.
Well, no, but you asked for my opinion. That is my opinion.
Lately, I have been sending out courtesy letters to people that I've never had to talk to, never been able to talk to, such as Mick Reynolds over here. They had those vehicles parked on that vacant lot. They said you can't have them parked there. They moved 2 or 3 of them. One's still there. I don't know if it belongs to us. Now I got to do a sheriff's search on that to make sure that who does this belong to. I had letters that go out to other people. Well, all they did was they moved their shit from one lot to another. So now I got to go back with them again. This time I'm not going to send them a courtesy letter. I'm going to send them a letter saying, you violated this. If people, you walk up to people and you can tell whether they want to talk or not. Okay? I thought Brandon was level-headed. He's not. He's not.
My advice is have somebody there.
And it doesn't just take me to do this.
Well, no,
any city employee and any council member, if they see a nuisance, can make it known.
I've talked to Charlie a lot, and not so much lately because his old lady tried to get me arrested last winter, but I've told him, I was like, you gotta clean that shit up. I've got 30 days from there. I said, you're playing with fucking fire.
Well, right. I
said you're gonna get burned.
I said $30,000 last night. It's more like about $150,000.
And he ain't gonna afford that.
He's not going to. Right now, the extenuating circumstance in his case is he was supposed to hear about his health issues. And so I'm not going to pile on somebody who's been given really bad news, like you you've got 6 months to live.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna pile on them, but I need it cleaned up. So I want to put all the options together and talk to him and say, okay, here's your options. This court order is still good. What are you gonna do? You're gonna clean it up yourself? You're gonna let us clean it up? What are you gonna do? You know,
At the same time, I also don't want to improve junk properties that we deal with later on. I mean,
junk properties and what?
that we have to community clean up. I'd rather have. It's a damned if you do and damned if you don't. With Charlie.
Well, I get that. So that's why I want to go forward with all the options. So I have to ask our lawyer. Please outline the options you gave me yesterday on the phone. And that way I can go forward with a formal letter and try to talk to him. Every time I've tried to talk to him before, and I don't chase him down to some public venue. I want to catch him in private, because that's where you do your discussions. He drives away. So he's not willing to talk. I'm hoping that I'm going to be able to capture him someday, or at least send him a letter saying, well, here, these are your options here. Since you don't want to talk, this is what you have to deal with. You can come talk to us. You can go talk to an attorney, whatever. But it needs to be cleaned up. And there's a lot of other stuff in town that needs to be cleaned up too. Yerilda's one. We send her a letter every year, but nobody ever follows up on it. Now, I haven't done anything this year because Connie keeps telling me she's going to go down there and help her clean it up. Well, that doesn't get done. So I don't know what goes on. I can't do anything about that house on Elm Street because the kids don't want it. It's Gerdeman's house. So the town is going to end up having to buy that son of a bitch and take care of it. Or take possession of it in some fashion. Okay? So those are the big burning issues besides this building here and the other crap that we have to deal with in town. I also intended last night that I wanted to have a closed session to talk about the 90-day review for John coming up. But I can't do that because I have to keep it public, or he has to be there and say, I want it closed. I don't want to telegraph things that people will misconstrue. So that's why we just dropped the whole damn thing. These 90-day reviews coming up, so it looks like I'm going to have to take Tony's input and do a formal with him. Because I can't talk about it in public, and I can't.
We're doing that next meeting, you said, August.
In August, we'll have to do the 90-day. It will be a formal setting, either closed or open. But I can't really get into details, and I need more information from Tony to find out where is he at in his coursework. Where is he here? Where is he there? How have things been going? Are you working together well? All those types of things. So those all have to be evaluated. And I don't have enough information yet on it. I have some things, but not everything. So that's why we called it off last night. I don't want, whatever comes out, I don't want it to be misunderstood and go out to the world, because that's what we do on YouTube. Which I think is just a crock of shit to begin with. I'm not saying we have anything to hide, I just think it's ridiculous. You know, that the audit we went through, all the crap that went on with the audit, as far as people assuming that the city is crooked, the city does this, the city does that. Angie comes up here in the middle of the night and shreds papers because we don't want the records to be found. That the city is doing illegal stuff. You know, all those accusations.
The one that I've heard the most is that sign down there.
Which side?
City wall sign. There's a down on the right across from the park. That was a $10,000 grant, and I don't know any of this for fact. This is what I've been told. Dan did all the work, and there's no receipt for the sign.
Again,
And my response was, I don't know anything about it. This is before my time. If it's that big of an issue, if there's enough people that come to me about it, then I'll go and look myself. You know, and other than that, I don't have any idea. Now the one of the reasons I was at City Hall yesterday is because of the $1,550 lawyer bill, because of what Dan said last meeting about how he talked to the attorneys coming from Southern Iowa all the way home and everything else.
We didn't get billed for that.
People ask if the city, if the AMS taxpayer paid for that. And I asked Angie, I was like, I said, I know we shouldn't have, and I said, but did we? And she says, no, and I looked at the receipt, and it wasn't on there. But the thing that I have that you might not have as much anymore is I have the people's trust, and that to me is more important than anything else, because they are the people that I work for, along with you. And if I go, and I'm not gonna lie, and if I go and tell them no, that there's no phone call that we paid for, then it dies, because I don't, and I'm not saying that you do, but I'm saying I do not, and people know this because I've been from here in this area, that I don't lie for even my own family, and I'll give them an honest answer, whether it hurts me or not. I've still got that trust and that bond with this community, and that is more important than anything else up there.
Well,
but at the same point, if I'm also a council member, so I'm privy to certain information that not all of them are.
I understand that.
And and you know, as a military guy, you don't fucking leak that out to nobody or tell anybody anything. So I have never told people anything that is not public information, as far as that goes. And I think some people, I think even you, I get the feeling, and I'm not saying that's right, might think that I have done that. And I'm telling you, as a man, as a fellow veteran, I have never done that, and I will not do that because of that training that we both took. So
that this phone call, was that the one before we hired him?
yes,
Well, then we wouldn't have been billed for that.
I know that, but people, this is where that whole persona and looking at things, and you know, the whole bullshit that we talked about when you pulled up. That's what.
Okay.
I mean, that's a lot of that. That's where that shit comes from.
All right. I
If
gotta do a
people
little
don't,
damage control later.
if people don't, there's the trust is hurt with certain people.
No.
You were one of them, and
I don't know where that comes from.
shot all the shit. I don't know. I hear all kinds of bullshit, but I mean, I don't take bullshit as the truth, as gospel, and that's just, you know.
Okay. I'll
But
take that on board.
I don't know. I would recommend strongly that you have somebody there for me, because that, you know, that helps. That'll help us. Wait, check my 3-1.
Yeah, it's nice to know we have such a lovely town.
But I agree. I think we need to grow up that way.
So how long has the clown head been standing there?
I have no fucking idea. I've been talking to you.
See, that's the thing I have a problem with.
Hey, you're on a public street. I can record any conversation that takes place on a public street. And everything that goes on Facebook has not been doctored or manipulated. It's strictly recorded off and uploaded.
Nobody's made that claim.
You just were saying that.
No,
That was being manipulated.
I did not say that.
At city council meetings.
Yes. So anyway, it's no problem.
You're, I don't believe you.
Yeah, you're on that.
Well, this is where the mistrust is. That you're talking about. People can't trust